Hey folks, Fat Guy Flies RC. Well, before you, I've got two choices that you can get both of these from Hobby Zone. This is the FMS 1500 millimeter SKYLANE Cessna 182, and this is the Aeros RC SKYCRUISER 1400 millimeter, and it's a Cessna 182 also. Now, it is the former FMS SkyTrainer 182. But they've rebranded it, and Aeros and FMS are basically the same company, and been rebranded because molds are expensive. So they rebranded it, brought it back. They've added the the vector system to it, and you've watched my unboxing build and everything, and it's a great flying plane. But right now, I want to say through the end of July, possibly longer, it's $179. Then it's going to go up to, I think, $229. Now, and it comes with the vector system, which all you need is a very economical, like an AR620, or possibly a Lemon RX Gen 2, which will run you about 20 bucks. And just put your, take your gear channel, 3-position switch, and you can operate your vector system, which gives you self-leveling, wind mitigation, and then no gyro or direct mode. So it comes with that, and that you get all that. We get flaps and lights and suspension on the nose, all for $179 right now. And then you got to add yourself you could do a $20 receiver to it. Now, this one here, this is the one we're going to fly first. This is the FMS 15, slightly larger, 1500 millimeter SKYLANE Cessna 182. Now, it runs on 4S. This one runs on 3S. This one 4S, like a 27 to a 3300, which is a more expensive battery. This plane starts at $299, and it has no gyro or stabilization or anything, so you got to add a receiver on top of that. Still have to add a receiver to that, but it already has stabilization or a vector system. This one doesn't. So, you know, tomatoes, tomatoes. This is a little higher end plane, but it's a very simple flying plane. This is a simple flying plane, but it's just a matter of how much you want to spend. If you're not ready to, because you're going to, by the time you put a good gyroed receiver in this, you know, you're going to have and buy a good battery, you're going to have the $400 tied up. Whereas if you go ahead and buy a $20 Lemon RX Gen 2 for this receiver, and then a, you know, $20 3S battery, you know, you may have $250 in it. So it's all in how you want to do it. But let's take the FMS, the 1500 up first, and we'll try to fly very similarly. And with that one, with the SKYCRUISER, I'll give you a safe demonstration, or the optimized or the stability mode, which is beginner mode, landing and takeoff, and then wind mitigation, landing and takeoff, and then I'll show you what no help at all it looks like. Now, this plane here has no kind of gyro. It's just straight 100% throws, 30% expo, timer set for 5.5 minutes. Probably won't fly that full time, but and they both have braking. They both have reverse thrust. Let's take her up in the air, and I'm going to try to fly them similarly or in the same type of pattern. Have no wind at all right now, so I'm definitely going to need some takeoff flaps. Okay.
Takeoff flaps.
Going to try to avoid that sun, if at all possible. All right, here we go.
Flaps up.
Very nice, predictable flyer. What I call a Sunday flyer, Sunday afternoon flyer, knife edge air. Like I say, no kind of gyro or stabilization, just you flying. Just me, the good Lord, and the airframe.
Time remaining 5 minutes.
Well, like I said, we're not going to fly the full 5 minutes. I just want to show you a demonstration of both these planes that are available. It just depends on how much you want to spend. I'm going to fly back towards us. Okay, let's take it up. You can do some mild aerobatics with it. Those struts are functional, so you do have to use them. If not, your wings will snap in half and you'll have a very bad day.
Landing flaps.
Same thing with the SKYCRUISER. You must use those wing struts. They are functional. They are structural. You do need them. All right, let's see if we can't improve upon that landing there. All right, we're going to take off flaps again. See if we can't do a nice, gentle scale takeoff. Keeping on that rudder, trying to stay on the center line the best you can. A little back pressure on the elevator. Keeping your finger on the throttle at all times. Because your throttle is your main control. People don't realize that. They think it's your elevator. No, it's your throttle. Throttle is your #1 flying control. That's what actually dictates your altitude. All right.
4 minutes. Landing flaps.
All right. Come by kind of low and slow. And they both have navigation lights. This, however, does have well, actually, they both have lights in the tail. I forgot. This one has one on top of the tail and then at the very rear. The SKYCRUISER has one just on the rudder itself, I believe. They look really good. When the lighting's down, you can really see them lights really well. Okay, I'm going to point that plane right at me, turn back towards the runway, try to... All right, when you get a bounce like that, give yourself a little more throttle. That'll actually even that out. Let's do one more, and then we'll switch planes. All right. Like I said, I'm running a 4S now. Did not use takeoff flaps. Give it some power. We're going to take it up. Do a stall turn. All right, I'm going to turn towards the highway. All right, now I'm going to run level, and I'm going to kill the power and hold the elevator. Hold the elevator, 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 just to see how she slumps on over. All right, we're going to do the same thing, but coming right at us. Right at us, kill the power, hold the elevator. Hold it up, hold, just to see. Okay, she just kind of slumps right forward. She's fine. We do that again, not quite so low. Okay, power off. Elevator, 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 elevator. Oh yeah, and she just kind of very manageable, a very manageable stall. All right, no landing flaps this time. We're coming in kind of slow and low. All right, that way you can see a little bit of grass. I probably won't do that with the other one. This has a little more hardier gear. I don't know, we might. All right, let's get turned right here. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to land one more time. I just got to land one more time. One more time, folks. No takeoff flaps. There we go. Let me take out towards the road. Turn around. That's a stall turn, or I'm sorry, aileron turn. I'm going to point the plane right at me. And then when I figure she's kind of lined up with the center line, turn back towards the runway. A little bit of back pressure. There, let them mains touch, and then let your nose settle in. All right. And folks, one of the biggest things about this hobby, if you're not having fun, you need to ask yourself why you're out here. If this is stressing you out, you need to stop, take a step back, regroup, start over. Because if you're not having fun, then there's no point.
Braking.
Oh yeah, she got thrust reverse, and that way you can get her parked right. All right, we're not going to worry about checking the battery, but because I still had 2.5 minutes, very efficient on the battery. But you have a push button here. You have plastic lining all around your battery hatch. Well, we'll go ahead and check it since I'm here. Got a scale pilot in there. Interesting enough, you have the exact same pilot in both planes. Still have 66% left. So you set your timer for 7 minutes, easy flying, you're good to go. All right, we're going to unplug the battery. That way the plane's not live. Okay, set the plane off to the side. same FMS pilot, so you can't tell me. Now this one is a bottom feeder. Okay, you have to load the battery from the bottom. This was, like I say, this is the old Sky Trainer. Let me find it. Okay, Always turn your transmitter on first, and then plug in your plane. Okay, make sure my throttle cut's on because I don't want to cut my leg. Okay. Now, this normally has some antennas here. They just glue on. I've taken them off because it's a bottom feeder. And see what I'm having to do right now? Well, I'll be bending them antennas every time I do that. So I just left them off. I mean, they're not functional. They're just for looks. All right. Now, this has a great gyro system, the vector system, which is great for beginners. Okay, so we're going to start with that. And doing beginner mode right off the bat.
Safe mode.
They call it stability mode. Same thing as safe in the spectral world. Okay, runs on a very economical 3S. I've got a 2700 3S in there right now. Okay, but you can put it anywhere from 1800 to a 2200 up to maybe a 2700, whatever will fit in there, really. All right, get my audio turned. All right, we're going to be in, you know what? Let's get turned around a little bit further down, because since I'm in safe mode, it may want to take a little bit longer of a rollout. You got suspension on the front gear, just like you do on the other one. Okay, safe mode's on. I'm not going to use flaps. Here we go. This is the Vector onboard system. Barrel, just a touch of back pressure on the elevator, and she lifted right off. Nowhere near as fast. Okay, that right there, that's as far as I can turn those ailerons. That right there. I cannot turn the plane over. Okay, plane's flying pretty level. Damn, I am having to put a little bit of down elevator. But that's okay. Plane's not a rocket ship. Gives a new pilot time to think. Okay. Turn back towards us.
Time remaining 4 minutes.
Let me go out here. Get lined up for my approach. The best I can do, because I cannot turn. I don't like not having the power, the throttle, the control. But this is for a pilot. This is for a new pilot. Barely, just a little bit out of the pressure there. There. Okay.
Take off.
All right, we're going to go to
AS3
what we call optimized mode, which is just wind mitigation. It helps you with the wind. There. I lessen my pressure on my rudder and just let the plane go forward naturally. But always keep your finger on the throttle no matter what. Blank sky. There we go.
Flaps up.
All right, now to show,
Takeoff.
we're going to do takeoff flaps, leaving AS3X. Let me turn back there a little bit for a little more of a run. More of a gradual run. I'm going to keep my thumb hovering, or my finger hovering over the throttle, but not much rudder input at all, because that's what my problem is. Let the plane go forward naturally. Yeah, much better.
Flaps up.
Much better. All right. Turn towards us and just keep on, show the belly.
Landing flaps.
Put my landing flaps in. All right. Bring her in, let her settle. Fly her right towards me, then turn back towards the runway. And that's how you do it.
Takeoff flaps.
All right. Now, had a minute left, but we also wanted to do the different demonstrations. Like I said, I'm just giving throttle, just gently on the rudder. That nose is awfully touchy. And just like the other plane,
Braking.
it also has reverse thrust.
Cruise mode.
But I'll be honest, folks,
Props.
with either one of these planes, reverse thrust is more of a gimmick. I mean, now if you had float flying, yeah, that would help because you're like in some lily pads or something, you need to back out. But both of these planes, reverse thrust, is just because the stock ESCs that they use in other aircraft have reverse thrust, so they're not going to create an ESC just for these. It is neat to have. I mean, you're down at the back, down at the end of the runway, you've got your nose in some brush or something, you want to back out of it. But these planes are both very manageable and really shouldn't need them. Okay, let's check the battery on this one. We flew for 4 minutes on that one. Throttle cut is on, so I have no power to the prop. I'm not going to hurt myself. Because there's nothing more embarrassing than having to go to the emergency room because you cut your finger off with your toy. All right. Now, to show you, I've got that 2700 as far forward as I can get it, and that's where she CGs just fine. So your 28, just whatever battery you get for this plane, put it as far forward in there as you get, and you should be fine. Just remember, the bigger the battery, the further back, the lighter the battery, the further forward, and the more flight time with a bigger battery. Just got to make sure she balances okay. 69%. Batteries are cheaper for this. The plane is cheaper to own. Batteries are more expensive for this, okay? Not a little more expensive to own, okay? You're going to have to buy a decent receiver for this one. I suggest an AR620 or an AR6 or AR630 or whatever Futaba has or whatever brand your receiver is. Does not have any kind of gyro that comes with it, so if you want a gyroed receiver, you're going to spend any more. The plane's $299. If you want a gyro receiver, I'd recommend an AR631, which is $89, and then you're going to have a good 30 bucks wrapped up in a good battery. So you're going to have well over $400 tied up in this. But this is a much nicer aircraft. It's got a lot better features. It's hardier, more powerful. It's got more of a feature package to it. And I prefer flying this one. I like it. This plane here, right now, is $179, okay? Runs on a very economical, this is a 2700 3S. I get this from Hobby Star. I've got like 6 of these. They pay 30 bucks each, okay? I've had them for, I don't know, 8 years maybe. These are great little batteries. I keep them discharged when I'm not using them. Put you a Lemon RX Gen 2 7 channel. That way you got that open channel for the vector system. It'll run you anywhere from 18 bucks. Plane's 179. Get you a couple of $30 batteries. You'll still have under $300 wrapped up in this, and you'll have self-leveling and AS3X and wind mitigation and all that good fun stuff that you don't get in that. So it's all dollars and cents, apples and oranges, whatever you want to spend and what you want. If I was just starting out, okay, and I already had, like, say, a high-wing Tundra plane with big knobby tires, and now I'm ready for something scale, I'd go with this. Once I can make this one dance on a dime and I can fly it and carry on a conversation and not even think about it, then I'd go to that, okay? But I'm not buying your planes for you. So, folks, thank you. I hope this comparison helps give you an idea. I'll put links for the purchases and for both these planes. You can get them both at Hobby Zone. If you buy either one through my link, I will get a commission. I ain't gonna lie, that's an affiliate, okay? But I can at least help you out and take 10 bucks off the price of the plane. So if you use my code, 10 bucks off the price. Now, if the sale price though is gonna supersede my code. But so you miss the sale, you can still use my code and take 10 bucks off. If not, use the sale code because that's much greater than what I can give you. But I can still give you 10 bucks off this one. So, folks, y'all have a good, and don't forget to like and subscribe. God bless y'all. And don't forget, hey, family and friends, and they're really fun, beginner, Sunday afternoon type flyers. Bye-bye.